Murphy Brown returns to television tonight, and we have an unlikely person to thank for the return of the trailblazing fictional journalist. That's U.S. President Donald Trump. And Murphy's not the only show taking on Trump and the politics of today. It's just the latest example of how Hollywood uses its tools of the trade to lean in on the current political climate.
And action.
I left FYI a few years ago, and then we had an election.
This may be part of the trailer for the new Murphy Brown reboot, but it's not all fiction.
Why is now the perfect time to bring back Murphy Brown?
Have you read the papers recently? We, had an election, and we feel like we were the show. If there was a show that needed to come back, it was ours.
It's always been timely and topical. What are we going to see? What topics are we hitting on for this season?
We're hitting on immigration, Me Too.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news. The second episode takes place in the press room of the White House with Sarah Huckabee.
And hitting those timely topics presents an interesting challenge for the writers on shows like Murphy Brown or The Good Fight and Madam Secretary, all of which reflect real-world issues in their fictional storylines. How to stay ahead of the non-stop news cycle.
They're trying to keep the downtime for the show between when we shoot it and when it's aired
2 to 3
as quick
weeks.
as possible.
2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So that, because the news cycle is changing so much every week and you want to stay current. So we're picking topics that the discussion continues, that are very relevant, and that we have to cover. If we're reporters doing a show, that's what we cover.
There's been a lot of talk about, reporters, journalists, the press not being factual, being fake a lot. Is that a big reason of bringing back this show, to kind of combat that?
Yeah, the screaming of fake news and now being called the enemy of the people is really horrible. And our characters are all members of the press. So, yes, we are going to be looking at a lot of things through that prism.
How do you think the current administration is going to react to this boldness?
I don't know. He doesn't take criticism well, that's for sure. And we're just going to see.
I don't think they're going to be writing us any fan letters. I'm guessing there'll be people in the administration that quietly really love it. I would also hope that we get a tweet or two from the current president.
If you could predict the first tweet, what would that be?
Something with sad in it.
Take on this crazy new world of alternative facts.
While the pro-press Murphy Brown has anti-Trump overtones, some TV networks are also looking for primetime content to appeal to conservatives and Trump supporters. The short-lived Roseanne reboot was an example of that. And while the series star has been fired over racist behavior, a spin-off about her family called The Connors is expected to address politics in the same way. For City News, I'm Devo Brown.